Hello there, I have an interesting story I wanted to cover today, and this story was actually sent to me by a viewer of this channel on Discord. If you're interested in joining my Discord, the link will be in the description, and maybe I'll cover something you send to me. So this article here is from CBS News, and it's titled, Castro Valley Comic Book Store Staffers Track Down Suspect in Rash of Bay Area Burglaries. So I'll read a little bit of this and then we'll talk about it. So, a brazen thief who didn't try very hard to cover his tracks was apprehended by authorities with help from a ragtag group of amateur detectives. It sounds like the plot to a new comic book series, but this is the true story of a pair of Castro Valley comic book store staff members turned sleuths. Crush Comics owner Josh Hunter and store manager Cole Sanders never thought they'd find themselves as real-life comic book vigilantes, but that's exactly what happened after the shop was burglarized in the early morning hours of March 22nd. When I got there, I was like, okay, it's not as bad as it could be. I'm going to try to be really positive about this, said Hunter. The burglar cleared the walls of the most valuable comic books that were displayed. Hunter thought they were all gone for good until one of his employees spotted a very specific book on eBay.
Less than 12 hours after the burglary.
This is the one that really, solved the case. The absolutely unique one-of-one sketch cover from our artist friend Dan. When I saw that on eBay, I was like, I'm just gonna buy that and see what happens. And we got the guy's name and address and everything.
And this was a one-of-one sketch cover that was done by a friend of the shop, so immediately they knew something was up. So they actually purchased this book, and they were able to get the details, the name, the address, everything they needed to apprehend this burglar. And that's exactly what happened. So we go down a little bit and we see the very next day, the Alameda County Sheriff's Department served a search warrant at the home of 29-year-old Nural Amiri of Livermore, where they said they found tens of thousands of dollars worth of comic books, collectibles, and Lego sets, the majority of which were returned to the respective stores. So, what can we take from this? Comic fans know their stuff. Comic fans, they recognize little things. They'll notice when it's their book up on eBay. I've seen it before where dealers have been robbed at conventions and they or other people they know have found those books for sale. They'll notice the little imperfections, every little thing like that. Like, we are a very particular crowd, so maybe not the smartest thing going after comic book stores. And it's very interesting. So this string of robberies actually affected multiple stores in the same area. It's believed at least 4 stores were robbed in this string of burglaries, taking Lego sets, collectibles, comic books.
They looks almost certainly like they stole some of our stuff. You should check too. And they got back to us and they were like, yeah, there's like 10 of our books on there right now. And I was like, wow, okay.
When they saw Lego items on the eBay page, they reached out to a toy shop in San Ramon that had recently lost a number of valuable sets to a shoplifter.
I smell trouble.
She's like, do you think this is him? And she sent me a picture of the guy that they had, and he wasn't mass in this one. And based on the Google searches and stuff that we did, we're like, okay, this is probably the guy.
They turned the information over to police, and just a couple days later, another toy shop was hit.
And my wife and I are looking at each other, and same thing. They broke the window, they got in, they stole a bunch of stuff and left. Do you think this could be the same guy? So I go to message them on Instagram. We had already had a message from them saying that, hey, we think it's the same guy.
And the employees of these stores have actually kind of banded together, and now they have their own group chat. So it's going to be a lot harder for anyone to get away with stuff like this. Not even CGC, the largest comic grading company, can get away with theft and fraud. People notice and they call it out. And comic fans are especially distrusting right now. And as you can see from the break-in footage, there were 2 suspects and only 1 have been apprehended so far. So, I guess we will have to see how long it is before the other person is brought to justice. But with this team of comic shop detectives, it's only a matter of time, I'm sure, before we get some answers. And hopefully this will discourage anyone else from trying to pull anything like this ever again. So, don't steal comics. Maybe try reading some, and you might be encouraged to go out there and do some cool things like these gentlemen. So, anyways, thank you for watching. Peace.